Hi everybody. In this video I'm going to show you how to make a nice waiting slideshow for your students before you start class. So one of the most common calls that we get at the tech department during virtual learning is parents calling because their students are trying to join a Google Meet and it says the link isn't good, or it won't let them in, or they're not sure why they can't join the meeting. Usually this happens because kids are trying to join a link before you started the meeting itself. Links have to be started by the teacher before students can join, and kids are just so eager to get in that they start early. So an idea I have for you is to create a waiting room or like a pre-class slideshow that you can start 10 minutes before your class starts. The kids can then kind of view some content or listen to some music, but know that the meeting will be starting soon. And then there's some precautions and some restrictions you can put into place so that they basically just get to see the slideshow. So first thing you want to do is create a slideshow. You can kind of put whatever you want in it. It could be one slide, it could be multiple slides, really up to you. You can customize it as you go. I like to add music to mine. So once you have your slide, on the very first slide, we're going to go to Insert and Audio, and you will need to have a MP3 file saved in your Google Drive, and it can't be too long. You know, you can't have like a 3-hour music clip, but if you find your music and then select it, it will import the audio. You can kind of move that wherever you want. It won't show up during the slideshow. This one's like a 30-minute one. That'll be just fine. So once it's in there, then you're going to get some formatting options, and if you're not sure where those are, that's going to be format options. So if later on you need to adjust anything, you can select the object. So some things you'll want to set is it'll start playing automatically. So that means when you start the slideshow, it'll start playing. You want to hide the icon, loop the audio, so that means if it runs out, it'll start over again. And then uncheck, especially if you have multiple slides, uncheck the slide stops on slide change, because that means it'll play over the entire slide presentation. So once you have that in there, you can kind of do a test run. So if I go ahead and push the slideshow button here, you can see that my slide presentation is playing. I've got my music. Nothing is going to happen yet, so what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the 3 dots, and I'm going to go to the autoplay, and you can choose the amount of time for each slide. So I'm going to just keep it at 2 seconds. I'm going to select the loop button. That means when it gets to the end of the slide presentation, it'll start over again. And I'm just going to push play. And now it'll loop through all of my slides. So you can ask some questions, you can ask some things for them to think about, whatever you want. But this is just a nice intro, waiting room music thing for them to prepare and know that you're going to be ready for them. So next is, how do you get this into your Google Meet? So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Google Classroom here, and you're just going to want to pick a time ahead of time before you know kids are going to be in there, and click Join. I'll join now. And a couple of things that you'll want to do first is you're going to want to go into your settings for your host control. So if you go down to the people, or if you go into settings, you'll see host controls right here. But one of the things that you want to do is you want to turn off some of these restrictions, at least for the beginning of the meet. That way then when kids get in, one, they won't share the screen, they won't chat, and they won't talk with each other. If you want them to keep their videos off, you could uncheck that, but that might be kind of fun if they get to see each other. So you set those items. Now when they join, they basically can just sit there and watch. So I'm going to go ahead and say, those are my settings. So I'm going to close that off. So I'm going to go to Present Now, and I'm going to want to choose a tab, because that's going to be how I can get the sound in the video in the tab. And what that is also going to allow is it will just show that tab for the students, and I can continue to work on my computer while they're waiting for class to start. So I'm going to go a tab. I select the tab that's got my slide presentation and click Share. That will pop me over. Make sure you're on the first tab, or excuse me, the first slide, or the one that has your audio, because it will play automatically when you do that. I'm gonna go ahead and say slideshow. My audio will play, and then I'm gonna go ahead and set up my time frame. So we'll loop, and oops, play. Did I get that? There we go. And then now that's playing. If I come back to my Meet, I can see what's going on. I'll be able to see as students join in here. I can actually turn down my music. The music pumps through their speakers, so you don't have to listen to it as loud. They will hear it just fine, crystal clear. But then you can have them have a little slide presentation, questions and things to think about before you start. And when you're ready to be done, you just close the tab, and it will stop sharing, and it'll bring you right back to the Meet. And there you are. So be really interested to hear how people decide to use this, what creative ways you come up with. If you have any, share them out. All right, thanks everybody. Bye.